Hello, everybody. Welcome to September's Deal Clinic Live. I'd like to welcome on board our panelists. We have Tim Sanders, who is our investor. We have Sheena Almas from Almas Investments, and we have Bruce Mannering from Bond Limited, Finance Limited. Hello, everyone. Thank you to our investors who are attending live and also to you who are watching on the replay. Lovely having you here with us. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments box. I'll be keeping my eye on that, and also the Q&A. We're happy to help. We're happy to answer any questions that you have and also help you along your journey. The snippets of these Deal Clinic Lives will be available on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel also. Now, for those of you who have registered for the event but may not have registered to the platform, I will be adding the link for that into the comment box later on. If you're watching on the replay and you need that, please feel free to contact us at admin@sourcinginvestments.co.uk. Okay, I do encourage interaction. It helps build trust and gives an ability for you to see what's actually on the table with the deal that we have in front of us today. So that, as I said, drop any questions at all into the chat box. We have Tim as the voice of the investors, but please don't let that stop you from asking what you want to ask. Okay, so just to register to the platform, you're looking to go to sourcinginvestments.co.uk/investor-registration. Okay, so we have got, I'm just going to see if I can see who we've got already, 13 attendees. So welcome to David Hunter, Helen Perry, Henry Aronugu. I hope I have said your name correctly. Apologies if not. We've got Bia Wangoom. I hope I pronounced that properly as well. I'm just going to say some first names, I think. Jeet, Jinsu, Paul Wilson. They're coming in thick and fast. Ranjan, Ravi, Stuart Hutchinson, Sue Walker, Wendy Tang, and Zora as well. So that's actually that as Sharil has just joined also. So that's growing. Thank you very much for watching live. And as I mentioned, for those of you that watch on the replay too. So without further ado, I've already introduced to you our panel today, and our presenter will be Sheena Almas of Almas Investments. Bruce is from Bond Finance Limited and is part of our power team with regards to lending. And as I mentioned, we have Tim, our very own investor. So, and there's myself, your host, Bonnie Marshall. Okay, so without further ado, I would love to introduce you to Sheena Almas. Now, she is the director of Almas Investments. Almas Investments are a UK-based sourcing agency and property management company. Now, they cover various areas in the Midlands and the North, so Sheffield, Nottingham, and a particular focus on Stoke and Mansfield. They work with various strategies. You're looking at buy-to-lets, HMOs, multi-lets, serviced accommodation, and also rent-to-rent. So I'm going to play you a video. Some of you may have already seen this, but I feel it's important to play that so you can see the level and quality of work that Sheena can deliver her projects to. And then after that, I'll be handing you over to her. So without further ado, let me share my screen and play the video.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheena Almas. I'm an investor and sourcing agent. I'm the director of Almas Investments Limited, and we help people finding their dream projects. Almas Investments source deal as per the client's requirements on personal level. Because we are not an investment company, we are people company. The areas we cover in UK are Mansfield, Nottingham, Stoke-on-Trent, Liverpool, and Leicester. But we are not limited to these areas. We can expand our areas and tailor deals as per the client's interest. Our current strategies are flip, buy-to-let, HMOs, and rent-to-rent.
Perfect. Fabulous. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I'm now going to hand you over to Sheena. Whilst Sheena is presenting her deals for you, I will be just dropping the links to her landing page so that you can register and see her properties. She has a window full, and also the links to each deal that she represents and walks you through. Sheena, over to you.
Hello, everyone. So sorry if you think I'm looking away, that's because of my screen. I'm not ignoring you. So I'll just share my screen with you guys and we'll just move forward and I'll just introduce myself to you. There we are. So hello, everyone. My name is Sheena. As Bonnie said, I'm a director of Almas Investments. We are investors and sourcing agents. And we are covering various areas in the UK, especially in the north. And our main focus areas are Mansfield and Stoke and Trent. If we see, sorry, my bad. Let me just show you more. So if we see, these are the areas generally we cover. That's Mansfield, Nottingham, Leicester, Stoke and Trent, Sheffield and Liverpool. However, we are not restricted to these areas. We can tailor the deals and we can go to the area wherever the investor is interested in. So we can do the due diligence for you and find you the best deals we can. And the next one is my previous project. If you guys have seen the previous deal clinic, I presented this deal that as well. That was my first deal in Mansfield. And this was a 3-bed mid-terrace house. The asking price for this one was 135,000. The purchase price for this one was 133. We negotiated and went down to 133,000. And the market value in June 2021, when we bought this, was 134,000. The refurb cost was 2,000 for this one. Solicitor fee was 1,000. The stamp duty for this one was nothing because of the stamp duty holiday during the pandemic. So that's where we saved most of the cost as well. And the market value in March, when we got revalued after the refurb, was 150,000. And that valuation was in between the refurb. So again, the potential, if we do a little bit of more work, again, with, you can say 1,000 more, it can go up to 170,000. And currently it is being rented by a family. So it's working as a buy to let for us. And it gives us a £700 per month as a rental income. The ROI for this one is 10.29%. And the yield is 6.3%. If we move to more pictures, so this was before and after picture. So the left one was how we bought it from the previous owner. And after the refurb, the right side is the picture of how it looks. So this is our standards and this is how we decorate with the help of our interior designer and our builder. And we use decorators and we try to make the properties up to date, modern, residable, and with a good quality for a lifestyle of the tenants. And moving forward, so this is my current project, which we are working on right now. I do have the exact scenario numbers for you. And we are doing this deal with an international investors from Sourcing Investment. And the asking price for this property was 130,000. The purchase price was 125,000. The market value currently of this property is 145,000. And the refurb cost for a HMO to be a 4-bedroom HMO, we will say, is around 40,000. But this is an estimate. My builder is still working on the exact quotation for this one. So we are still working on this project very closely with my builder and my interior designer, and we are going to create a new map, new design, of course, with always working together very closely with the investor. So that, because this is our standard of as an Almas investment, we always keep you in loop what we are doing, and we always, just work with you. And as a project management, if we are using our team and our contractor, then always you are in the loop with us. And then coming on to my sourcing fee for this property was 2,500. The letting management fee for this one is going to be 10%. The project management fee is £5,000. And if you move on to solicitor fee, which is £1,000, stamp duty is 5% because of the international investor, which is going to be 6,250. And the done up value for this property is going to be 170,000 in the current market, but it can change in 2 months when we are done with the refurb, because we get the valuation done always before we start the refurb and after we start the refurb to have the exact valuation with us. So right now we have 170,000, but we have a very high hope from this property that it will go higher than that as well because of the Mansfield market. And then we have the rental income as an HMO for this property is going to be £2,000. And this is again an estimate. It can go higher because of the rental income is very high in Mansfield per room, especially in HMOs. And the ROI for this one is going to be 8.6%, and gross yield for this property is 19.20%. Moving forward, again, this property is in the same area, Clipston, Mansfield. And this is the work in progress. I'm just showing you the current state because we haven't yet started the refurb. We are still in the planning mode right now. We have got all the permission from the council though about how we can go about it and which room can be what. So we are going to have 4 bedrooms and 2 of them can be en suite. And there are 2 bigger bedrooms. Yeah, as I told you, we are going to convert it as en suite. The bathroom is a Victorian style, a very old bathroom where the commode and the shower room is different. So we are going to change that and put it all together. Either that or we are going to keep the toilet separate because it's sharing. So we don't want anybody, to have that movement because we are still going to have 2 rooms sharing a single bathroom. But we are still in a planning stage currently. But we'll keep you updated how it's going. You can just reach me out from my portal and ask me for how the final planning is going, and I can share with you how our project goes. And this is the current state. So the pictures, if you see right now, looks very neat and clean. Doesn't look like it needs a lot of work. But during our inspection, we found out a big hole in the kitchen ceiling. The water was dripping. There's some leakage from the toilet and from the kitchen pipe, and the outside is the gutter. So we are still trying to investigate where is the leakage from. However, the builder is going to anyway strip out everything because it needs rewiring. So we are going to strip out everything, do the rewiring, make it everything up to date, especially with the meters, electricity, and the safety purposes. And the kitchen is going to be refurbed. The tiles are broken, very badly broken. It's just we aligned it together to click a picture, but tiles were coming off. So we are going to change the flooring. There's going to be a redecoration. There's going to be a modernization done. And the en suites, as I told you. So it's going to be a very big project, and the refurb is estimated as 40,000 as per our experience in previous HMO projects like this. But let's see what my builder says, and we'll keep you guys updated with that. Now,
Sheena, before, if I can just interrupt, apologies, but we've had a question from Helen Perry with regards to, she's asked, is that a commercial HMO valuation or a residential estimate at 170,000, please?
So this is going to be a residential one. Even if we are going to just refurb it, make it modern and, leave it as it is, because it still can be rented to a family with that kind of refurb. And they can just do whatever with the property, like having 2 master bedrooms with the en suites in, because the size is really massive. Again, that's going to be 170,000. It's not going to change because this property doesn't need a very big wall to be put in to separate the rooms. So it's not that kind of structural work going to be in here. It's just stripping out and keeping everything fresh.
Okay, perfect. So it's actually, if the valuation of 170 was based on residential, then just to confirm to Helen. Perfect. Thank you so much, Helen. I hope that answers your question.
Now, moving on. So that's the strategies that will work in Mansfield. So talking about in Mansfield, so the strategies currently which are working, and these are the tested ones because we invest a lot in Mansfield currently. And this is the HMO, flip, and buy-to-let and service accommodations. And I'll tell you the reasons why. I do have some good clarification to help you out with your due diligence in this area. So if you see, the best areas to invest in Mansfield is NG17, which is also called as Sutton Ashfield, if you want to look at the Google maps. And the NG17 is very good for HMO because of Amazon fulfillment center, which is a Amazon warehouse EMED 2. And the size of it is really big. It's a new warehouse, I would say, just opened up 2 years ago during the pandemic. And due to that, there are still a lot of employees moving and migrating, and they need a housing to be arranged for their employees. So sometimes, you can just find Amazon employees just even on Facebook or anywhere, just looking at and asking for the rooms in Mansfield. So it's a very easy market and it's a high demand HMO. Then we have NG19 for HMO and buy-to-let because of Kingsmill Hospital. Again, because of the nurses, the doctors. Kingsmill is the biggest hospital in Mansfield and Nottinghamshire. And it's a very, very old hospital. And there's thousands of doctors and nurses who work there, and they're always in need of accommodation, especially the ambulance staff as well. And we have NG21. This area is very good for flip, buy-to-let, HMO, and service accommodation. Now, NG21 is a very, very huge area. This postcode covers vast area in Mansfield. So we have families coming in, especially in summer. It was so full. The service accommodations were so full, so booked for months, because of the parks, the historical places around, the camping places are around. Then NG21 also have lots of factories around here. The construction work is massive here. The amount of development is going. So we have staff here looking for a housing always to stay in, so that it's an easy commute for them to go to work. We have buy-to-let. Again, families, because of the school areas around, families always look for the houses near to the school. We have flip, again, as I said, lots of development going on here. So it's a very big opportunity if you are looking to buy affordable property, do a good refurb, and then sell it for a higher price.
Sheena, could I just ask a question there with regards to NG21? Because as an investor, it pricked an interest. With regards to it being such a large area and you being an agent that's well known to that area, would you be able to guide an investor to particular streets potentially that would work better for a flip and the streets that would work better for serviced accommodation, as an example?
Yes, of course. So if you see my window, there are lots of properties there. And because we are based in Mansfield, so we have properties coming in every day. So I upload around 2 to 3 properties every day in my window. Keep an eye on it. And you feel like, okay, you want to go ahead, or you can just speak to me directly and I can send you the deals as per your budget and as per your requirements and as per your investment goals. I do have investors with me working very closely. Even the last project I showed you, we work together on the strategy we want to use for that, so that the investor can achieve the highest ROI on this. So we are always ready to work with you. You need help, you need guidance about this area, please reach out to me. And we can work together on this.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, moving on to the demographics. So you can see the full-time employment, how the economic is actually in Mansfield. So you can see the employment is very, very high. So that's a very good sign for an investor that you know that their people do have money to, pay the rent, or they can afford your property to have a, rental property and pay on time. And mostly because of the economics, we have seen that people are willing to pay for buy-to-lets like £800 for just a single let, to £900 if the property is very well maintained, because people want a good lifestyle here. Now, moving on to how the Mansfield looks. This is just a Google map screenshot. I just took it from you, and you can see how close you can see the Kingsmill Hospital from Mansfield. So anywhere you go in this area, you can either go for a HMO or the strategies I told you with those postcodes. And you can see Kingsmill is just there. There is a university, Nottinghamshire, College Derby Road. There is a Nottingham Trent University as well, which is not showing here for some reason. I don't know why. You can see the parks, the spas is around here, the Berry Hill Park, the Sherwood, and these kind of points are very good to see that families do come around here for holidays if you're looking for a service accommodation or an Airbnb if you want to do that. Moving on to transportation. So transportation in Mansfield is very, very easy. So every street have bus stop, and there are 2 train stations in this area as well, and which is you can say 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk time to time, especially from NG18. So it's 10-15 minutes walk. You go down the street, you can see the amount of bus stations are here near West North College. So it gives you a very easy access for students to come and go. And moving on to companies in Mansfield. As I told you, Amazon EMA2, that's the biggest one, because the employees they hire, Amazon is unreal. The amount of that they have grown, the amount of employees they hire, even from abroad, some time to time, and they migrate from all over the UK to one warehouse. So even sometimes one of my properties is actually full with Amazon employees only, because it's near to that and it's always full. So I have a tenant there for last 2 years, because he's working just in the warehouse. So it's an opportunity. It's my secret I'm giving you away. And then we have CMB, Martin's DC, the warehouse. It's just an example, but you can see I have pinned the nearby warehouse and factories where employees are there, and they are always looking for an affordable places to stay, and HMOs. With HMOs, you can provide them the affordable rooms. Now we have schools in Mansfield. Now you can see the pins around is all red because of the amount of schools in around this here are huge. And it's a thing in Mansfield, I would say. You can see there is junior school, primary school, secondary school. So till the time a child is going to uni, he's going to stay in Mansfield because everything is around. All the schools are around. They can just study here till their high school, and then they can just go for university straight. So families tend to stay here longer due to schools around here and how kids are growing up. I have seen so many families. One of my tenants itself, which is a family which I showed you from previous, they moved here because of the school, because there are 3 schools just on that area in that very street. Like, it's just you go down the street, there's one school, you go the next street, there is primary school, and then you cross the road, there's a high school. So they are staying for longer, I can say that, because their K is in primary school, so I'm counting on them. And then we move on to the Stoke and Trent. So I don't have a project, unfortunately, right now to show you in Stoke and Trent. But
Sorry,
I can.
Sheena, sorry, before you move on, I've got a few questions for your Mansfield property, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So firstly, quick one. How's Mansfield for the HMO licenses and things, and do you help us out with the applications?
Yes, so I have a team, or my business partner is there as well. We are very closely connected to the HMO, the HMO officer there, because we are doing these kind of projects. So we always keep up to date and keep on asking them for advice before even telling you how the refurb will work and the license. So if we talk about license in HMO, the whole Mansfield have permission to have HMOs, the whole area. And that's a good thing. The second good thing is till 4 bedrooms, you don't need a license. After exceeding the 4 bedroom, if you want to convert a property into say 5 or 6 bedrooms, then you need a license, which costs around £750 for over 4 bedrooms. And that's for 5 years. That's the current rate I have from the officer, because we were doing a project. So we do send them the maps, the floor plans before we even come to the investor and give them a surety that how much license it will cost, because this happened with the project I showed you with the 4. We are converting it to 4 bedrooms. We wanted to convert it into 5, but then after speaking to my investors and the HMO officer, we came to the conclusion that we will stick to 4 to keep a license free for now. There is a lot of potential in the property. We can extend the property, but we are going slow with this. So this is how I can simply work with you and tell you, okay, this is what is going. I can speak to the officer. I can guide you how it's going, and this can be converted, the room size. So we work on a very, very detailed with you. It's just like, I'm like your eyes in this area.
Perfect. No, that's really good. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. And then with the letting fee, you mentioned it's 10% for the letting fee. Is that for buy to let and HMO? My experience is that HMO letting fees are a little bit higher. Have you managed to negotiate that down?
So what happens is our letting fee is not fixed. It depends on the deal. It depends on the property, and it depends on sometimes distance as well. So if I know that what kind of work I need to put in, so for example, buy to let, I'll give you just an example. If that property which I'm converting into 4 beds, I would have let it be buy to let, it would be around 8%, I would say. For that one, again, it always depends on deal to deal. That's how our quotation works. And especially with the project management fee as well, it goes with the buy to let, it goes down to 2,000 to 3,000, depending on how much work it's needed. And with the HMOs, it comes to 10% to 12%, depending on the deal. And yes, it is always negotiable. As I said, I work very closely with you, and we work for you to achieve your investment goals. So we are people company. We just don't believe in working with just buildings. So I'm always open for a good conversation, negotiation, and just make you feel comfortable with your journey.
That's awesome. No, that's really reassuring. So yeah, that's great. So does that mean then you guys run the letting agency yourself then in Mansfield?
So we help you put the tenants in, yes. And we do market it on our website as well. So letting agency we can do for you. We can do a sourcing agency for you. We can do project management for you. You tell us and the work is done.
That's really impressive. That's really good. And then I've got a final couple of questions with when you talked about NG19 and being around the hospital. Are the tenants the full-time staff at the hospital, or are they students? And also, do they have, if it's students, do they have families coming to visit the students from abroad So that might be where the serviced accommodation route could also sort of link in nicely with the HMOs.
So with the Kingsmill Hospital, it's not a university in there. However, I can see that, interns from medical universities do come in there to practice under a practitioner, or so I'm not going to in that detail because I don't know that detail, but I can just tell you that yes, there are interns coming in the hospital sometimes time to time, which is 6 months period. So you have a tenant for 6 months. And when they are foreign, they do like their families to come in, but I won't say a big size when they are foreign, again, because of the travel cost and everything. And yes, they are full-time. Most of them are full-time because of the amount of doctors, surgeons, and you can say nurses are there, especially the nurses and the carers. So they are full-time, and they tend to live in a, if you're looking for a buy-to-let, they tend to live there for longer because of the job and the schools.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, really useful. Thanks.
No worries at all. Going forward, now we're going to the Stoke and Trent. Okay.
Sheena, just before you start on Stoke-on-Trent, I've had a message from one of our viewers who has asked if you will be able to share your slides later. Is that something that they can contact you via your landing page, and you would be happy to share some bits of information from your slides, from your presentation?
Yes, I can. That's not a problem. I can also share you some of the links as well. You just reach me out, as I said. You can just have a free chat with me, and I can just, give you information you want. I can give you some of my resources. We do check, and yeah, we can work there. So that's not a problem. So this presentation is just a glimpse of what we do. When you speak to me, you will know that 100% what I do. So don't worry.
Perfect. Okay, so, and just for the investors out there that are watching and also on the replay, I will be showing you how to navigate to both Sheena's page for Almas Investments and also Bruce's page for Bond Finance. Thank you, Sheena.
No worries at all. Then going forward is Stoke and Trent. So let's talk about the strategies. Now, this area is very special to me because it's very interesting. And I think I'm just sharing my gem with you right now. So the strategies that will work in Stoke and Trent are HMO, flip, and buy-to-let. And the best areas to invest in Stoke and Trent, there are just 2 areas that you need to remember. That is ST1 and ST4. That's it. You're looking for affordable investment, this is the 2 areas. So for HMOs, due to 2 universities and city center, ST1 is the best. So the universities are literally, you can say 5 to 10 minutes walk from this area. And actually it is in that area, but I'm just giving an example of one of the properties I have, which I'll show you later on. And so 2 universities are 5 to 10 minutes walk, or by cycle it would be around 7 minutes or so. And the city center is very close as well, which is very good for students. And this area is very, very popular with students. It's highly, highly in demand. There is literally one street I go to, and that's like, I want to share that picture. Actually, I forgot to add it, but I wanted to show you. It's a HMO heaven for everybody. You go to that street, and the whole street is filled with boards, rooms to rent, rooms to rent, rooms to rent. And there are restaurants, just you get down, and there's a very popular restaurant as well for students, and the students are filled there. I even go myself every time I go for a viewing. So this is amazing there. So you should see that. And if you are looking for a HMO, that's the best area for you. It's always full.
Brilliant. Yeah, we have a question from one of our viewers currently. Yogesh Patel has asked, is capital growth good in Stoke and Trent and Newcastle under Lyme?
So we haven't been to Newcastle, but I know Newcastle is very, very famous. My team hasn't gone yet to Newcastle. However, ST1, yes, if you are looking for a good affordable property, I think I might answer you better when I show you that one, and you will see the numbers I'm trying to tell you. It's on my window. So you can get an easy property there for £1,000, I would say. Not £1,000, sorry. 100,000.
I'll buy 10.
I know. So sorry about that. £100,000, an easy property, even lower than that. And you can convert it into 3-bed, get 500 for each room, and you get 1,500 rental income. So it's that easy. And students are literally waiting every time there to, just to rent a room or looking for a room. It's that high demand.
Perfect. And so is capital growth strong then in Stoke-on-Trent, Sheena?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Perfect. Yogesh, I hope that answers your question. I have to say, Sheena, I'm excited to see the live deals.
Yes, I'm very excited to show you guys. I just get excited, really. So ST4 is another area for HMOs and buy-to-let due to Staffordshire University. Again, there's a university, but there are lots of nurses and carers I have seen they're living for a buy-to-let for a very long time. And that's because of the affordability and the transportation around it. So yeah, this is good. And ST4. So again, the other thing is as well, ST1 and ST4, with these areas, these two areas are my tested areas as well. That's why I'm pushing it as well, because I can tell you that how easy HMOs you can do. And, just you can get so much rental income from these areas, and investing less, you can say bigger ROI.
So just with that, Sheena, we've had an anonymous attendee ask, is it similar to Mansfield? What are the HMO rules in Stoke?
So Stoke-on-Trent works a little bit different. So with Mansfield and Stoke-on-Trent, the difference is that Mansfield counts the rooms for a HMO license. However, Stoke-on-Trent counts residents. So, over 4 residents in the property, you need to get a license. But in Mansfield, it was with the rooms. That's the only difference. So in Mansfield, with a bigger room, I can easily let that to a couple and get, you can say 600 instead of 550 per room, because it's a couple staying there. But with Stoke-on-Trent, I have to limit the couple staying. I can only give it to a single person because of the license. So that's the only difference you need to be careful about when you are doing that. Again, you can reach me out and I can guide you with what the rules there are, because in every area is very different rules with the council. And sometimes even the postcode, it goes different.
That's brilliant. Thank you. I hope that answers the question of the person that asked that. Thank you, Sheena.
Not a problem at all.
Oh, sorry, we have another question from Yogesh. Did you say you would organise the works to obtain the HMO licence as part of your paid service?
So with my project management, we do give that, because if we are, when we do project management, we also offer you, my team. So my team goes in there, my team, in my power team, we have builder, we have, sorry, I forgot the name, broker, a mortgage broker as well to guide you. And we have, a team which works very close with council rules, and with the interior designer is there. So they work very closely with all the planning before even we go for a refurb. And we always consult you as well, that are you ready for this kind of budget? And are you ready to, with this kind of rules? And then we go. So yes, with that project management fee, we do handle this kind of things, and we do work directly with the HMO, and we keep you in the loop as well with that.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. Yogesh, I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Sheena.
No problem at all. Then we are going with demographic in Stoke-on-Trent. So you can see with the housing tenures, and you can see the owned mortgage is this much. You can see the number 50. And the rented ones from the private landlord is 50 as well. So people are willing to rent property in Stoke-on-Trent. And with numbers, they can help you that private landlords are high in demand. So it's not just the council, and sometimes the council also reaches you out to get to the property. The universities reach you out because of the high demand with the students, especially when the pandemic is over now. Students are coming from abroad and the accommodations from the universities get overfilled. And then they reach out for private landlords and the investors like us, and they ask us that, we need to accommodate this much student. Please provide us with the accommodation. And we do provide them with our rooms. And we do sign up a contract with the universities or directly with the student. It depends about the university time to time. And moving on, where Stoke-on-Trent don't mind sharing. So you can see the numbers that people, 3 people, 4 people, they are happy to share a house. So house sharing. So I do get that question when we are working with HMOs, especially with the first-time investors. Time to time, they are they do question that is with HMO. Are people going to be comfortable with sharing one bathroom? Supposing 2, 3, rooms, are they going to be okay? But the thing is, with this area, it's not a problem. So because I have viewed so many properties in Stoke-on-Trent as well, and I've seen people living in very bad condition as well, because the landlords don't have time to manage it. And we sometimes, with our rent-to-rent strategies, we sometimes take over these kind of properties and we manage them. But this do happens that they don't care and people are still living there because they don't have better options. And Almas Investments, and of course with you guys, we do provide them a better living quality with the better housing, with the modern up-to-date housing for their living. So if you are looking for something like this, and you know the numbers now that people don't mind it, and so with the less investment, you can actually create some good rental income in this area. And moving forward is employment. So employment is good in this area. The full-time and the part-time employment is really good number, I would say, for the economy. So you know that it's not a very big problem for you, to pitch around 400 to 500 rent. It is affordable in this area. And moving forward is...
Sheena, I'm going to cut in there if you don't mind, because I'm conscious of the time and we have 3 of your deals that we need to highlight to our investors. So I think if investors do want to know more, because Sheena has so graciously said that she will share her presentation with you, feel free to reach out to Sheena. I'll drop her landing page in the chat box again. Feel free to reach out and contact Sheena for bits and parts of the information that she was going to cover in the presentation, but she's actually going to cover when we walk through the live deals. So Sheena, if we can move on to the live deals, that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I just was left with universities and schools. You can check it out on Google Maps. That's not a problem. I'll share the links with you as well. So now moving forward with my deals. So these are my 3 deals, which I'm going to present now because I don't have much time. Otherwise, I would have taken you with my whole window. My window is filled right now with a lot of deals. Then for Mansfield and Stoke-on-Trent, let's move forward. I have it open there. Sorry. So this is my first deal in Stoke-on-Trent. This is on my window. 2-bed house in Stoke-on-Trent, but can easily be converted into 3-bed HMO for students. And the purchase price for this property is 90,000 on the market, and the fair market value at the current stage is 98,000. The gross yield for this one is 7.33. The ROI is 142. Again, this is an illustrative ROI, and you can see on what basis it has been counted. With my numbers, again, the numbers will change, and you can just reach out to me directly to show you how the HMO numbers will work. Sorry, I'll just forget that. So there are two strategies that can work on these properties. That is buy to let, as well as you can either do a buy to let for a single family if you don't want to go for a HMO. And the HMO will go 3 beds with a rental income around 1,500 a month. That's a gross rental income. With the cash flow counting, again, I'll leave that to you, how you want to do it. But for this property, the refurb cost to convert into HMO would be around 20,000, because the condition of the property is good. It just needs some refresher, and that's all, really. That it doesn't need a very 4-bed. The refurb cost will increase. That you can speak to me directly about it, what you want to do, and we can do it together. And then moving on to my next deal.
Just want to see if, Tim, do you have any questions from an investor's perspective from that at all? And Sheena, is that deal 91 ending in 9132?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Just to ensure I drop the right link.
Yeah, just a quick one on the refurb costs. Is it similar to other HMOs where sometimes you have to put in a bit more to start with to be able to get it up to the HMO standard, and then you'll be making your money back over the next couple of years? How's it situated on that front?
So yes, there can be a refinancing. Of course, the done up value for this one will go higher once we refurb it. So it will go around 120 after getting the refurb done of 20,000.
Okay.
So yes, there you can have it either refinance, take out your money however you want. Otherwise, of course, with 1,500 income, you will take your money back. I can't count it right now in my fingers because we are short on time, but I'll tell you in the month or till what time you will be able to make it back. But ROI will be higher on this one.
Well, thanks. That's all I have at the moment.
Perfect, thank you. Bruce, do you have anything to comment? I know this is quite a straightforward buy to let. Do you have anything to add from a lender's perspective? Because obviously bond finance are excellent in customer relations, helping the client find the best deals.
Yes, well, if you're looking to refurb this property, because the purchase price is less than £100,000, I'd probably recommend Together Money at 75% loan to value to buy it, to refurb it. And post works, if it's a single let or if it's an HMO, Octopus or HTB would be my lenders of choice for foreign nationals to exit the funding, and we can probably get 70% of GDV on that if they're a foreign national. If they're a foreign national with existing portfolio in the background or another property, we could definitely get 75% on the gross development value.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Thank
Pleasure.
you. Sheena, back to you.
Thank you. And there is one more property. This one is, sorry, I just hit the property code. So the property reference is here, and it's a 3-bedroom house in Mansfield. It's still on market. You can find it on my window again. And this property is a very spacious property. It's been closed for I don't know how long. It was the landlord is now deceased, so the estate agent just called me for this investment opportunity, and I'm just showing it to you now. So it's a little bit distressed property, and you can see how distressed is the kitchen currently. On the market currently it is for 140, but it is negotiable right now because there is no offers on this one, as far as I know. And the fair market value for this one in current state is 169,000. The done-up value, if I clarify as a residential property, the done-up value for this one will be around 175 to 180. And the ROI for this one as a HMO is this one, 28.28%. Again, it's an illustrative ROI. Your numbers can always change with your strategy of funding. And then gross yield is 13.19%. Again, our numbers and your numbers may vary, so please do your numbering as well. And the refurb cost for this one will be 40,000 again, converted into 4 beds. And this property is very doubtful for me. I cannot advise you if that will be a cash only or a mortgage only, because the structure is very strong. It's just the interior is very bad. So you need to do a lot of work and give a lot of love to the property. And yeah, so we can do that again because it's Mansfield. The laws are the same for the HMO license. As I said, 4 bedrooms, no license required. So you are saving up your money. The only fact is, because of the room size, there might not be an ensuite, but we can work on that if you are interested in this. And I can get you the exact measurements and we can speak to the council.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry, just before you go any further on that, Sheena, I'd like to bring Bruce in with regards to that, because Bruce Mannering is actually from Bond Finance, and Bond Finance Limited are a completely independent broker. So they have access to the whole market, which, as Bruce just mentioned, for overseas investors, that's something they're able to access with the strong relationships that they have. They have key access to key lenders, which can give them the highest levels and what actually other competitors can't access. So if I can just hand over to Bruce for a minute so that he can just give his opinion on this property, because it does need a lot of work. I can imagine some new investors on board looking at that thinking it's horrific. When we're seasoned, we just think that that's an amazing thing. But for somebody entering into the industry, it may look like a real horror story when actually it's a dream in the making. Bruce?
Yeah, and I think I've got a perfect product for it. Can I share my screen just to show the product to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sheena, if you pause the sharing for me, please.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
That one looks so exciting for me. I'm looking at it going, oh wow, that looks fun.
It does. It looks exciting for sure. While Bruce is just sharing his screen, I've got a couple of questions from Yogesh for you, Sheena. He said 28% ROI is amazing. That's not a question, that's a statement. So he's loving that. And can you get finance for, I think, Bruce, this will be for yourself. Can you get finance for an Indian citizen, but no UK financial history? If so, what kind of rates and fees are usual?
Okay, so yes is the answer. The main issue about foreign nationals buying in the UK, lenders are looking for 3 things. They're looking for income in the background to make sure they've got enough salary to support themselves. They're looking for a credit profile, and they're looking for lettings experience. They're the 3 things. Now, obviously, people coming to the first time to the UK do not have all those 3 things, but we can still help because we've got special lenders like Mint Bridging here who will lend to foreign nationals even though they don't have a credit score in the UK or any lettings experience. As long as we put a good power team like Sheena's power team around it, they'll be happy. Mint have got a great product. When you've got build costs of £40,000 to £50,000, they'll actually fund some of the build as well. They'll fund 100% of the build and up to 70 to 75% of the purchase, or 65% of the NGDV, whichever the lower is. So the loan is actually in 2 parts. It's a bridge so that you can actually buy the property, and then you get going with the works. And once you get going with the works, then a surveyor comes around, signs off the works, gives you a check for some more money, and then you continue. So all the funding is done in arrears. This allows you to leverage your cash a lot more than if you're basically buying at 75%, then you're funding the build works. Because the build works for £40,000, £50,000 will limit who we can go to. So if there's a lender out there, which is Mint, it would be helpful. Also, the exit funding, I would probably look at HTB once for foreign nationals. They will lend up to 75% if you've got a credit profile in the UK. They'll lend at 65% if you don't. And they lend to HMOs and they lend to serviced accommodation as well. So it ticks all the boxes. So foreign nationals, they'll lend, HMOs and serviced accommodation. So as soon as I saw Sheena's deal, I went, the exit's got to be HTB on that one. So that's all I wanted to share with you. So
that's brilliant.
Thank you, Sheena.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Bruce. Yogesh, if you can let me know if that's answered your question, I'd be really grateful. Bruce, thank you for that. Back to you, Sheena.
Thank you so much, Bruce, for that. It's very helpful for even me. But yes, as you said, this is a HMO property which can be a good service accommodation because of the camping stays and the holiday spots around. So yes, this is a property for a service accommodation if you're looking for, and the rental income here per room is 600 to 700 pounds, again depending on the quality. So yes, that's a beauty. I love this property myself. And moving on, Stoke Trent.
Just a quick, sorry, Sheena, just a quick word on that before you move on to the next. How long would you expect the renovations to take for something like that? Obviously, that's quite a big internal project, and there's quite a lot. Yeah. What sort of timescales would you be thinking?
So for that kind of property, I would say around, because I think that need rewiring as well. So I would say 8 to 12 weeks. Again, the builder can quote me better, but you are looking 8 weeks at least.
Well, thank you. Are your builders finding any issues with getting supplies at the moment, or have they pretty good and got that end sorted?
Sorry, what issues?
General supply issues at the moment. I know for a couple of my projects over the last year or so, there's been building supply issues. How are your guys sort of situated with that?
No, it's all good. There's no supply issues. Of course, the property has been closed for very long. But that's not a problem. When my builder goes in, he does in and out of everything.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so moving on to Stoke and Trent. Okay, this property, if you've seen the last property and you see that's a horror, you have seen nothing because I'm showing you the amazing beauty ever. This is the Buckingham Palace. I'm showing you. So this property is in Stoke and Trent, ST1, the high demand area. This was the property I was talking about. 2 universities nearby, 5 to 10 minutes walk, buses around, transportation is really good. And the purchase price for this property is 70,000. Now this property can be a 3-bedroom HMO. And the fair market value in current state is 105. The done-up value for this property would be 127,000 again as a residential, and gross yield is 12.32. The illustrative ROI is 25.58%, again as per these terms. And I have a lot of interest on this property. But again, it's a very big project. Now moving forward. Now you can see why I was saying. So this is a distressed property. It's cash only for now. If you need finance for this one, I think Bruce is the right person to guide you how you can finance this property, because this is amazing. The windows are gone, the doors is gone, the back door is gone. So we had quite a break. Some homeless people breaking as well. So, but we have secured everything at the back. The vendor have. And this property has been closed for very long. The condition, it's not at all habitable at the current stage. Yeah. And the rental income for this one per month will be 1,500. The refurb cost for this one is around estimated as 40,000 because of the state. because
Okay.
the whole loft is gone. We can convert. However, it have also given us an opportunity to convert the loft and create another room and create it to 4-bed. But I think it should be okay with 40,000 estimated.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Bruce, have you this is another what I like to call juicy project. Have
Yeah.
you got any feedback with regards to this? Because it's got so much potential.
It's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of potential. I immediately think Together Money because of the state of the property. Together will lend at 75% loan to value. And because the purchase price is £70,000, there aren't that many lenders in the marketplace who will lend to foreign nationals or expats because the debt's just too small for them, for the hassle factor of getting the money out the door. So definitely Together Money would be my first choice. You don't need an income, you don't need a credit score, you just need a pulse, and they'll lend to you. You probably would have to fund the build yourself on this one because of that initial purchase price. The other property was over 100,000 because this property is under 100 and the condition of it in probably Together. Is it in an Article 4 area, this Stoke-on-Trent, Sheena?
No.
Excellent. Therefore, you don't need any planning on it. No, so you can go. You can do the loft conversion. So there's no planning restrictions, which is fantastic. And if there's additional licensing, you need to get an extra license. But under 4 beds, 4 people, there's no mandatory licensing. So I actually quite like the project. What's the NGDV, Sheena?
Sorry.
What's the gross development value?
So the gross development value is, I would say, well, I don't have that figure right now in my mind, to be honest, with the gross development value. But it should be, as I said, I had just have done a value with me. That's 127 for sure. And
Okay.
the refurb cost.
Yeah, so I like deals where purchase price plus build cost plus a 10% premium. I like those. They're the ones which work well. So that's the only reason why I'm asking what the gross development value.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Sorry, I don't have that number with me right now.
All right, fine. But definitely something to look into. Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, Bruce. So with this kind of property, again, it's a very, very juicy property. As Bonnie said, I love these kind of properties. And trust me, I get these kind of projects a lot because estate agents are always calling me. And I do this kind of deals a lot as well, which needs work so that you have a potential to put in the property and get money out on time with these kind of projects. So yes, yeah, you can just reach me out regarding this property. The vendor is quite in a hurry because he knows the potential of this property as well. He's just not keeping it right now, but I think he's getting greedier. He knows the potential of the property and he wants to keep it. So he have given us some ultimate of 2 months or so, that in 2 months he will start working on itself. So if you are thinking to do this, you might hurry up and reach me out for this. And any other questions? That was my last deal. However, there are a lot more on my landing page, and you can just see that. You can view it. If you have any questions, you can reach me out now or later, as you wish.
Yes, Sheena, we have had some investors want to reach out to you. So I have dropped your link into the chat box for them. So just to let you know, when you click on Sheena's link, it will direct you to a registration page. It will be to register specifically to Sheena's window. So her virtual estate agency window is where you will be guided to. So you will need to register. We need all our investors that we interact with on the platform to be a registered investor. So I will add that link in again shortly. But before I do, I just want to go back to Tim and ask Tim if you have any questions about the deal that we've just seen.
Where do I sign up? I think is the first question. I love those kind of projects. So for me, they look superb. Again, the first question would be, how long would you expect the refurb to take on that second one? I think obviously it looks a little bit worse for wear than the second one. So what would you think there?
I would say 12 weeks for that one. But however, it can go lower than 12 weeks as well because of the size of the property than the second one, because of the square meter on the property. So I'm just estimating around 12 weeks because I just don't want you to feel that you said 8 weeks, get me in 8 weeks. So I'm just saving myself here. I'm just giving an estimate as per my guessing the condition of the property, because I have seen that live. My foot going inside the floor while walking.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And obviously everything can take a little longer if there's sort of pickups and things. So yeah, it sounds about right. So then, the next question's eluded me. But what for yourself in terms of your own portfolio? Do you specialize in your own portfolio in HMOs similar to this as well? Have you got experience with your own properties doing them up from that kind of value, from that kind of state?
Yes, so I come from a background doing HMOs. So I have handled these kind of properties. I used to manage 20 HMOs altogether. So it's just recently, 2 years ago, we decided to move on and just do these kind of things like sourcing and investing. But yes, I do have experience with HMOs. You can say the thing is I'm in love with HMO. It's just that thing that wakes me up in the morning. So anything in, left, right, out, you talk me about HMOs, I can go all day.
That's great. It sounds like you really know your stuff, which is brilliant. So yeah, the final question I have is structural surveys and things. Do you offer the structural surveys as part of your package, or is that something that we would need to get on top?
I don't do survey services. However, this is something Bonnie might help you with because my investors coming from sourcing investments do take help with the sourcing investments and get the surveyor there. But I can, of course, give all the guidance with them. I can do, do the talking with the surveyor and go in provide the access in the property, manage the time and everything.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I see. Thank you so much for that, Tim. Really appreciate that. So that's a great question. And yes, we have a power team within the platform that can help with the surveys of any kind. Bruce, you have your hand up. Please do go.
Hi. Yes. So if we are going to be using development funding, they would instruct a structural survey. You provide them with the schedule of works, and from the purchase price, the schedule of works, the surveyor will give an NGDV. So that will give you a lot of peace of mind that you've got a third-party professional telling you the NGDV is this, being completely independent, which is what I would want, and if I was going to do a refurb of £40,000.
That's brilliant. That's a great point to add there, Bruce. And just generally speaking, with regards to yourself as an investor and also somebody that provides lending to those who are looking to invest, what would you say causes the most delays when an investor is looking for, or you're looking for, the best product on the market for them, or what could even disrupt the process?
Okay, well, the key, and this is the golden rule for any development, the key is to get in and out as quickly as possible. Okay, therefore you're going to keep your costs down and maximize your profits. The amount of times developer clients come to me and go, oh, I'm going to pop in planning for the extension out the back, and that drags on for another 4 months. It just, the finance cost sucks out all the profits. So especially when you're using development finance, you need to get in and out. And as soon as you can see the finish line with your development, you want to be getting an application in at least 4 to 6 weeks. So that literally, as soon as you've got building control sign off, bang, we get the valuer in. And then the valuer, as soon as the paint pots have been cleared away and it's been presented, get the valuer in, and then we can complete 3 to 4 weeks thereafter, because then it's just down to legals. So that's the golden rule.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's great to know. Thank you so much for that, Bruce. And then Tim, I think I'd like to come to you as well as an investor and see from the other side of the coin, really, as an investor, what tips would you give that you've learned from your journey to make a transaction as smooth as possible, even, I need a coffee, as smooth as possible, even from your side as an investor?
So yeah, I've found that there's a couple of things that have held me up over the last couple of years. Things like I've thought that I've given all the information that I need to my solicitors and to the brokers and to get everything done as fast as possible. But there's always been something that I haven't provided them that they need to come back to me to say, okay, have you got this? Have you got this? So my main bit of advice really would be to basically get as much information as you possibly can. If you think it might be valuable, if you think it might be useful, get it over to them as quickly as you can in one email, in one, let's say, Dropbox file or something like that, so they have access to everything that they could. Because simply the number of times it's taken an extra couple of months where there's been one piece of paper that didn't go through, or one was signed, or there was a witness signature or something like that didn't qualify. That's been my main trouble in things being delayed, is the simple things that actually are quite easy to fix. So that would be that one. And then in terms of your end values, your done up values and things like that, when you're putting in your sort of estimates of what you think it might be worth, being realistic as well, not sort of stretching numbers and thinking that, okay, it might be a little bit better than I think it would be just because I think the market might be good, because then you end up going to the point where actually either you're not getting what you want out, or you're crossing that line of potentially, for me, for instance, crossing over that £100,000 minimum line and getting dangerously close to that, which then puts a little bit of unease on it. So that's generally my lessons learned over the last couple of years, especially with COVID. Everything, I don't know what Bruce's experience is here, but I've found that everything is still being delayed with COVID. So the quicker that I can get everything to my power team, the better.
That's brilliant. That's great to know. And I think it's important to share our stories, because from there we're able to help prevent somebody else making our same errors along the way. Thank you for sharing that, Tim. So Sheena, just with regards to your clients and how you work with them, what would you say is the most important aspect that you look after when working with your clients?
I would say communication. Just have clear communication, and as quickly as possible. I understand, being an investor in, living abroad, you might not able to have the, timings right with me because of, again, the distance, the time change and everything. However, just remember that I'm 24/7 available for you. So if you have any queries, reach out to me straight away. And how the process goes, just keep your paperwork ready, the proof of finance, how you want to go ahead and everything. Just keep it really, really handy when you put an offer, because these things move very, very quickly when you put an offer. So just make sure of that, and just have a frank conversation with me. I'm just here to help you.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. So what I'd like to do now, before I forget, because the coffee has worn off, I'm going to actually show you, ladies and gentlemen, how to have those communications with Sheena and with Bruce and his team. So as I mentioned before, you would need to register. These are their landing pages and contact information within the platform, within Sourcing Investments platform itself. So you would need to register to the platform. I will drop the link in there again, but I just want to head over to their pages. So you would need to register to the platform as an investor, and then from there you would be able to contact them as either part of your power team, or you'd be able to contact Sheena as one of your preferred agents. So let me just share my screen again. Sheena, I need you to stop sharing for a moment, if that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's absolutely okay. Let me just go in. So this is Sheena's landing page here that we have. As you can see, you've got all the details here. There's information about actually what Sheena does, the strategies that she covers as well, and the properties that she actually mentioned before. She has a wealth of properties in her window. So this is what I call the virtual estate agency window. And as you can see, there are quite a few properties here, as she mentioned already. So you've got a wealth of information here. Sheena's happy to guide you through any deal that you are interested in. And there's a lot of information within the deal sheet itself. She has history of sold projects as well. So those are there as well. So when you are contacting an agent, when you're contacting Sheena, you would literally register to the platform or even to her own window and be her exclusive client that way. But you would register, and if you're registered, this would be a contact button, and you would contact in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. I'm actually going to sign in and show you how to. So bear with me 1 second. Sheena, is there anything, while I just log in to the back end of the system so that I can do this, is there anything else you would like to share? Maybe the cover the other slides that you didn't manage to cover from?
Yeah, I can do that. That's no problem.
Okay, brilliant. I'm just going to find this login. Bear with me.
I've just got a quick other point, Bonnie, when you were mentioning any little tips and things. I don't know about other investors, but I personally use investor money quite often to fund my projects. And along with that, I give first charges, which is basically the equivalent of that investor having the rights to repossess the property if something goes wrong. So that gives them some kind of security. And that's actually something that I found has taken longer than I expected when it comes to either adding that charge or removing that charge in replacement for the mortgage lenders and things like that, especially when we're looking at portfolio mortgages. So that's something that I've actually needed to add an extra couple of weeks into my timeframes for that. So I don't know if that's useful for anyone that might be using investor funds.
And I also have lenders which will allow a second charge as well behind their first charge if the angel investor is happy to do so, just for another option.
Oh, that's really useful. That's very good to know. I might be contacting you, Bruce.
Okay.
So, carrying on with the last slide we left. It's not much, just 3 slides. I wanted to show you the area of the Stoke and Trent, which we were talking. If you can see, Stoke and Trent, ST1, the universities. You can see the Staffordshire University, Leeds Science Centre, School of Engineering, Innovation Centre. You can see a lot of schools there, and also the Royal Stoke University Hospital. So there are medical students here as well, always looking for a place to stay, affordable for students. So this I think would be a great help for you to look around when looking at the properties in my window as well. You can just check the area and the universities around, and it's a high demand because of the universities so close. And moving forward is schools in SD4, because I'm just showing you schools really for if you're looking for a buy-to-let. So this might help you to see that there are so many schools around, and it is a very good family area, SD4 for a buy-to-let if you want to. So these are schools around, and moving forward are the transportation. So buses are around, it's all the city center around as well. There is a middle port train station as well. So everything is really easy to access in terms of transportation. And there we are. That's the 3 slides I just wanted to show you to give you an ease of mind that yes, if a tenant goes there or you buy a property there, they're just not stuck. There is transportation.
That's perfect. What amazing group team activity. Thank you for that, folks. I really appreciate that. I have now managed to log in to the window so that I can actually share both Sheena and Bruce's pages. So bear with me now. Okay, so these are where I'll be able to click in. So as you can see, this is Sheena's window here. So this is her virtual estate agency page. As I mentioned before, you've got all the live properties here. I won't scroll through those again. And really what you've got is your live chat button. So I'll actually show you what this looks like. So when you click on this as an investor, you'll have a pop-up message to say that a direct conversation is about to take place. Now, when I click the proceed, it will actually, let me just move this. I don't know if you can see that, but when you click proceed, it will actually connect you to what we call direct conversations. So here you can see now that this is a conversation that I'm about to take place with Sheena. So it tells you that you're involved in a direct conversation. And it's important to keep your comms, your direct conversations, any forms of communication here within the conversation area, because it is encrypted and it is secure. And so if ever anything needs to go to resolution, we have everything here in black and white. So I'm just going to put, hey, Sheena, just so that the investors can see. Great to see you on the Deal Clinic live show. Okay, and then you would click the little purple arrow, and that will send the message to Sheena herself. Okay, so that's that. That's how that works with the agent. The agent will then get a message to say that you have sent her a message. We do have a phone app available on Android and Apple called Sync, S-I-N-C. Okay, it has this logo on that. And that's so that you as the investor and the agent can be in direct conversation, whether it be about a property, a specific property, or maybe you're looking to have the agent actually source something specific for you. This app on your phone, Android and Apple, can allow you to have those conversations on the go. Same with the bond, I've got here bond finance. So this is bond finance's page here within our platform. So as you can see, you scroll up, here's our lovely Bruce here. Now you can fill out these details here with regards to any information if you wanted to make an application, but you can also use the live chat button here. Please bear in mind that live chat, we don't pop up in a little bubble, but we do get the alert to say that we've contacted you. And again, same process. And then I can have a conversation with Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Great to have you on the Deal Clinic live show. Okay, and again, just click the little arrow and that then sends Bruce or any other Power Team member your message. So it is very, very simple. I hope that really helps. So once again, register to the platform and then you'll be able to access all of our Power Teams and our agents as well. Folks, do you have anything else that you would like to share before we close the show at all?
All good.
Bruce, you're on mute.
Well, no, it's just that. Sorry about that. If you're foreign national and doing a first-time investment in the UK, it can be a bit daunting. It's not. It's not. With the right team around you, you'll be fine. With regards to finance, you're not going to get the best deals on your first project in the UK if you don't have a credit profile. But it's a learning curve, and on the second deal, you will get cracking rates, but you just need to earn your credit stripes. As soon as you've earned your credit stripes, you can then start getting much higher loan to values and at lower interest rates. That's all I was going to say. Brilliant.
I really appreciate that, because sometimes we see others getting better deals, Bruce, and we can maybe get disheartened and feel that, you know, that maybe this is not the journey for us, and that's not necessarily the case. It's just that we need to have some, I don't know what the phrase would be, leg in the game, maybe.
Yeah. You just it's experience as well. I mean, when I did my first refurb, and I've been doing mortgages for 10 years before that, and I thought I knew everything. I didn't. I made huge mistakes, and it cost me money and time. So I don't know any deal I've personally done, refurb I've done, even though I've lost count now. I don't have enough fingers. I will always make a mistake. Okay, it's all about learning and not making the same mistake again.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have one question from Yogesh. I have to say, Yogesh, I really do love the fact that you've been asking so many questions. It's one of the ways that we learn best. So he's asked, do you recommend a UK bank account, or a bank account is opened in the UK for a foreign national or a credit card?
Definitely, any lender to set an application will require a UK bank account open via either in your personal name or in a limited company. A lot of people are buying, if they're overseas, are buying via a limited company just for tax reasons.
Perfect. That's brilliant. Great to know. Yogesh, I hope that answers your question there with that particular point. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Bruce. Really do appreciate that. Tim, anything else to share from an investor's perspective?
Just to add on from what Bruce has said. So when I first started my investments, I was overseas. I'm a UK national, but I was overseas, and I started my first investments with, I think it was a 6.39% interest rate on my mortgages. I've just recently done a round of refinancing on my portfolio, and that's gone right down to I think it's 4.3% now. So yes, exactly what Bruce says. It takes a bit of time. But there's always a way to refinance down the line when you've got the experience, when you've got a bigger portfolio, to be able to get your yields up, and not your yields, your return on investment up. So exactly what Bruce said. It's just about putting the timing, and then everything comes really nicely.
That's brilliant.
And I've just got your email through, which you sent me.
Which email?
Bonnie, Bonnie,
okay.
Literally just come through.
Perfect. On the Sync app. Yes, the email.
Yeah, it actually works.
There
works.
you go, investors.
There you go.
Live and direct.
There is proof.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. But it actually is that quick. So I'm really glad that you shared that, Bruce, because it actually is that quick. And when you have the app on your phone, which costs nothing, when you have the app on your phone, you're able to stay in touch with your power team and your agent, and get the deal through as quickly and as smoothly as possible. So staying in contact and communication is really key. Thank you for sharing that, Bruce. Really appreciate that. Love your enthusiasm. And Sheena, lastly, with yourself, is there any last final words you would love to share with we have actually got 26 attendees live, which is amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to share with them before we close this deal clinic live out?
Not much really, but I would say just keep a lookout on my profile, because we have lots and lots of supply coming in, because of the market is going really crazy right now. So every day we do upload a deal. So keep on checking, because I just don't want you to miss out that opportunity. So just every day, just have a look or reach me out, and I'll keep on sending you.
Brilliant. And I think you can all agree that Sheena is very enthusiastic about really helping and supporting and getting her clients the deals that they would love to have. So I would really like to thank all of you that have attended, all of you that watch on replay, and especially my guests that have presented with me here today live. So thank you, Tim. Thank you, Bruce. And thank you, Sheena. For that, now I would like to say thank you and goodbye. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye.